Chowder and Dessert Bar.
Carney DeSarno receives the kickoff, and he's brought down at about the 19-yard line by Greg Rice. And that's where Wall will go on offense. Both these defenses aren't used to allowing people to score. Matawan's allowed 69 points overall, 7.6 a game. And Wall has only allowed 7 points a game, 63 points overall. So they have allowed their average as a flag goes down on first down. That'll stop the play.
Terry Underwood with 119 yards rushing in the first quarter. And let's take a look at the last 29 of those 119 yards. A touchdown run by Terry Underwood. Again, they ran to the left side. There's Fidel. It wasn't Fidel Underwood. Let's get that right. It was 77 Joe Chalia who made that great downfield block that led Underwood finally springing into the end zone. So yeah, Joe Chalia, 6'1", 235-pound guard, doing the job.
Yeah, he kept Carney DeSarno busy just long enough for Underwood to get around him.
Motion penalty against Wall, so it's a 1st and 15 from their own 15.
Spinnapont goes in motion. And Eknoyan, I think that was a busted play. He looked for somebody, nobody there, and they lose about a yard. Let's see how far they bring it back. Maybe a yard.
74, Bruno Chalia making the tackle, and there's John Amabile. And they call timeout with 11:02 left in the first half, and the score tied at 7. Want to remind our Wall fans to visit the Chowder Pot on Highway 35 and Sylvania Avenue in Neptune City for all the shrimp you can eat. And the Chowder Pot scoreboard, they're bringing you the second quarter, and we're glad to have them with us.
And we'll take a break and be back with more action. Semi-final action here at Matawan. The score tied at 7 apiece on the Chowder Pot scoreboard, and they're sponsoring our second quarter.
Wall in a little bit of trouble as we have 11:02 left in this quarter. They took the Matawan kickoff at their own 20 and were penalized 5 yards. Then Eknoyan lost a couple of yards on the first down play, so now they face a 2nd and 16 from their own 14-yard line.
As you take a look at the people on the sideline, packed house. And I think John Amabile, as you take a look at the Husky defense, John Amabile came into the huddle of his offense, and he was a little upset. He said something to the referee as he leaves. He's got 116 wins, 90 losses, and 8 ties. This might be his last year as the head coach of Wall. Eknoyan from the shotgun under some pressure, and he's dumped for a big loss. Back to the 5-yard line.
Mike Jones, the first man in on Eknoyan to make the hit.
Jones is 6'1", 200 pounds, a senior defensive end.
What you're seeing here is Wall being forced to do something they don't want to do, which is go to the air most of the time. They're primarily a ground gaining team. That's where they've picked up the bulk of their yards this year, 2,383 on the ground, 798 in the air coming into this game. But with Matawan being able to stuff the run, Eknoyan had to go from a shotgun that time, and now they're all the way back inside their own 10.
Well, that's a good point, because Matawan only allows 54 yards a game rushing, so you have to go to the air. Spinnapont has his man beat, but it's intercepted. The ball underthrown, and Dean Burlew intercepts it.
Yeah, Spinnapont was covered like a glove by Burlew that time. I can't believe Eknoyan threw the pass because Burlew had the coverage all the way and came up with the interception.
Let's take a look. I think he had him beat early, and then he came back. Let's see.
Eknoyan looking one way and only one way. Burlew had the inside coverage. No way for that pass to be completed.
That had to be thrown over the head of the defender. He threw it inside. The turnover, 1st and 10 for the Huskies at the 45-yard line of Wall. This time they go with Terry Underwood on the right side.
Underwood on the carry, gain of 4 on the play.
They've liked the left side, running behind Fidel Underwood. This time they go to the right side behind Eric Hampton. And they pick up 3 on 1st down. Second down and 7. Underwood this time up the middle. Chris DeAndrea on the legs of Terry Underwood.
Followed the lead block of his fullback, Jeff Sasso. I imagine that gives Jeff Sasso a lot of pride to know that he's blocking for the top runner in the short conference. Sasso, not a bad runner himself. He averages 6 yards a carry, but his primary function is to block for Underwood, and he does it well. And I imagine he takes a lot of personal pride in springing Underwood on some of those big runs, as must all those offensive linemen for the Huskies.
As they measure, they have a good man on the bench also in Greg Rice. He's averaging 6.3 yards a carry, and on any other team, he'd start.
No question about it. No question about it. We may even see him in this game today. It'll be about an inch or two short, with the ball just outside the wall 35-yard line.
Ball on the 35.
Third down. Both teams had shown willingness to go on fourth down. And the quarterback sneak, and Rich Gluck picks up the first down.
Gluck on the quarterback sneak.
Good call, nothing fancy. Keeps the drive alive with 9:18 to play in the first half. The second quarter being brought to you by the Chowder Pot. We want to remind our fans in Wall to visit the Chowder Pot on Highway 35 and Sylvania Avenue in Neptune City for all the shrimp you can eat.
First and 10 Huskies on the Knights' 34-yard line.
And the Huskies trying to drive. Wall would like to stop him here. On first down, they're going to put it up in the air. They throw it short, and they complete it for a first down to Sean Mullaney. Mullaney, that is. Mullaney is 6'3", 195-pound senior, and he picks up the first down.
Playing tight end today, Mullaney came all the way across the field to make that catch on the receiving end of that pass from Rich Gluck. It moves it down inside the 20 at about the 19-yard line. Good play as Mullaney was able to sneak all the way across the field and make the reception.
And they had a man open deep also. And a flag goes in, maybe holding, as they test the middle on first down.
That was Rice on the carry, but we'll have to wait for the call here. Matawan players indicating it is against them, and the referee follows it up by showing that too. That's a real drive killer.
Yeah, I think that might have been, I'm not sure, but I think it might have been Jeff Sasso, number 38, the fullback.
He was on the carry.
Yeah. And that's a big one. Like you said, a drive stopper, Mark. They take him back 15 yards, already back to the 31.
Still first down, first and 25.
This is Underwood, right side. Shimko coming up quickly along with Chris DeAndrea.
That time the Wall tacklers with a good job to meet Underwood right at the line of scrimmage. There's no way you're going to chase him down from behind. I mean, you can forget that. If you make penetration in the backfield and Underwood's going away from you, you're not going to get him. But if you chase him along the line of scrimmage and get him when he makes his cut, you might have a chance. That's what Underwood and DeAndrea and Shimko did that time.
This is Gluck. He's got a man again. Mullaney. And they're close to a first down. Chris DeAndrea over there, along with John Spinapont on the coverage. And we have a Husky out of bounds and down on the field. They have the first down marker marked at first down. We'll see if they've got it.
You saw at that time as Matawan, knowing they needed some big yardage to get down near a first down after that holding penalty. And so Gluck completes a second pass of the afternoon to Mullaney. And they're bringing the chains across right now. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, Carney DeSarno, I think, came over to help out also. And they pick up the first down on the pass.
Great recovery after that holding penalty. After it set them back to the Wall 31, a run by Underwood and a big pass from Gluck to Mullaney.
Well, they keep going to their tight end. That's 2 in a row to him. And now they're knocking on the door once again. Nice crowd. such a big crowd, they have to stand today all around the perimeter.
Completely encircling the field. There were some portable stands added to contain the overflow from the main stands that you see right there, but too many people today, and they're ringing this entire field, and I'd have to say that they're seeing a great ball game here today.
That's Gluck. He's clapping because number 82, Sean Mullaney, is up off the sideline and walking back to the rest of the people on the bench.
Huskies have it, 1st and goal at the Wall 9.
1st and goal for the Huskies.
First down. This is Terry Underwood. He just doesn't go down very easy at all. He breaks tackles, you think you have him, and he squirms away. Over there on the tackle, the inside linebacker, Chris DeAndrea. He got some help also. This time Underwood gets up slowly, goes back to the huddle.
They call that a no gain. 2nd and goal from the 9 with 7:12 left in the first half.
They like the left-hand side on their first drive. This time they're pounding the right side. See if they go back to the left. Flags in the air.
Flags on the play.
This might help the Wall defense. We'll see. And see Gluck, he's upset. Number 18, the quarterback. Illegal procedure against the Huskies.
Call against the Huskies.
That'll take him back 5.
Here's Coach Joe Martucci in his first year as head coach at Matawan. He's coaching at his alma mater. I'm sure that must be
Procedure against the
a
Huskies.
great feeling to come back to the school where you played high school
Ball
football
on the 14-yard
and then
line.
come back years later and coach your team in a semifinal of the state playoffs.
2nd and goal from about the 14 for the Huskies. See if they'll put it up in the air or give it to their tailback. This might go to the tailback. No, they go over the middle, and it's broken up at the 5, well, the goal line. Intended for Mullaney. He was injured, and he went back in.
3rd down.
I think you really have to see someone get pounded to keep him out of this game. It's one of those games where everything's on the line. As you see 83 Bob Gentile check in with the play. Gives it to Rich Gluck. Like I was saying, it's going to take a lot to keep someone out of this game. These players have played hard all year. They certainly don't want to ride the bench in this game. Most important game of the year.
3rd down and goal from the 14. This is the fullback, Sasso. That was an unusual call
Sasso
on 3rd down.
A little
4th
bit
down.
of a surprise. Fullback dive right up the middle. They'll send Yun Pak in to attempt a field goal. He's a very good field goal kicker. 28 extra points, 1 field goal for a total of 31.
And
Make it 29 extra points. He kicked 1 on that first touchdown.
Yeah, and he's the 3rd leading kicker at the shore, but he's got a difficult angle. The wind whipping across the field might help him in this situation
Kevin Idlehold.
because he has to go from right to left to complete this one. High snap, they get it down. Looks good. And it is.
27-yard field goal by Yun Pak puts the Huskies back in the lead, 10-7 with 6:08 left in the first half. And we'll be back right after.
Quarter on the Chowder Pot scoreboard. Matawan leads it 10-7 over Wall.
First lead of the game for Matawan. After they were down 7-0, they came back with a touchdown. And now a 27-yard field goal by Pak puts them in the lead for the first time, 10-7.
Pak kicks it off, goes over the head of Carney DeSarno, in and out of the end zone. Touchback, 1st down and 10 from the 20.
Knights will take over, 1st and 10 from their own 20.
We'll see whether or not Wall goes back to their running game. Last time they were stuck deep in their own territory and had to throw a couple of passes. The pass was picked off by Berlew, and that led to that Matawan drive, which resulted in the 27-yard field goal. We'd like to remind our Wall fans to visit the Chowder Pot on Highway 35 and Sylvania Avenue in Neptune City for all the shrimp you can eat.
They go back to the ground with Rick Shimko. This time he slips down as he tries to cut upfield. And Shimko played a big part in the first scoring drive
Shimko on the carry.
for
Gain of 3
Wall.
on the play, 2nd down.
Picks up 2 yards on the carry. Interested fan. Beautiful day here for football. Can't believe it's December 1st.
I know, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I'll take it. I think the players will also. 2nd down and 8. That didn't look right. There goes the flags finally.
Flags on the play.
Just looked all kinds of goes against Matawan. I thought there was all kinds of troubles there. It didn't look right.
I think the left side of the Matawan line jumped offside that time after DeSarno went in motion.
And they'll march it off against Matawan.
And I think they may be tacking an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty also against the Huskies. That moves the ball out over the wall 30, up to the 36-yard line.
Gives the Knights a first down.
Down.
They'll take it.
Ball on 37.
And you can hear the response from the Husky crowd. They're going to explain it to head coach of the Huskies, Joe Martucci. Now he's got the explanation. And there's the quarterback of Matawan, Gluck. He's got to be happy so far with a 3-point lead. He'd like to see it even bigger, though.
I don't think 10 points will be enough to win this game today. I'm sure we'll see more scoring.
DeSarno in motion. They go over the middle and complete it. A fine catch at the 50-yard line. The catch by Frank Nicola, the split end.
Carl Watson on the tackle.
First down, Knights.
That's the kind of pass we'll may need to throw this game. Quick hitters right over the middle when the receivers just come open.
But what they did, they flooded the left-hand side and went one-on-one on the right and completed the pass. John Spinapont looking for running room, can't find hardly any at all. Stacked up, maybe a yard if he picked up that much.
44, Steve Russell, the Huskies linebacker on the tackle, first man to meet Spinapont. He was trying to run right through the middle of the pile that time, and there really wasn't anywhere to go.
2nd and 9 from the 49-yard line of the Huskies. This time they go with the pitch out to Rick Shimko, trying to turn that corner with the quick pitch. And they pick up about 3 yards to the 45-yard line. 3rd down and 5.
They love that quick pitch play, and they almost always run it to the right side.
4:15 left to go in the first half. The score, 10-7. The Huskies on top by 3. Eknoyan, a little short, but he completes it to John Spinapont, close to the first down at the 40-yard line. Somebody hit Eknoyan's hand as he released the football.
There you see it. Eknoyan drops back, but I'm not sure whether Spinapont had enough for the first down. They'll bring the chains in.
His feet were there, but the upper part of his body wasn't. He had to come back to the ball, but that's a good sign of a receiver going back to get the ball. Just short. Brings up 4th down.
Short, 4th down.
And let's see, we got 3:54 left to go. If you don't pick up the first down, you give the Huskies plenty of time with good field position for a drive and a possibly another score. Take a look at the decision maker on the sideline, John Amabile, the head coach of Wall.
Has that Gator sweatshirt on again. Never seems to lose when he has that on.
If they played in mid-August, I think he'd wear it. And this is a quarterback sneak by Rich Eknoyan.
Well, they'll unstack the pile. They'll mark his forward progress.
I think he might have got it. All he had to do was lean forward.
Yeah, but that's not so easy to do when you're trying to move 210 and 220-pound guys out of there. James Drago in the middle, one of the lightest on the defensive line at 185, but George Maganet and Bruno Chalia, the tackles at 210 and 220. They're going up against smaller men today.
Look at a guy who's, well, there's the coach on the sideline. When you take a look at the measurement, you're going to see the guy most interested about that. It's number 57, Tom Curran. He's the center. He did the blocking on this play for the quarterback. He wants a good look. It's got to be close. Curran can't believe it. They probably used a magnifying glass down there.
Great job by the Matawan defense to stop a quarterback sneak. It's almost an automatic play when you need a couple of inches. And you'd probably say to yourself, if you're sitting at home, how could a quarterback sneak fail? Well, it failed because the Matawan defensive line came up and stuffed it back.
Game of inches, they say, huh?
That time it was.
And it might be a fump. No! Great fake! This is Rich Gluck. He's finally wrestled out of bounds by Tim Ward. It went to the middle. I don't know if the ball carrier had it and it popped out, or that was just a fake.
Straight fake right up the middle to Sasso, and Gluck slipped to the outside on the option, but they're going to be bringing it back. As you see, a flag on the play. Great fake by Gluck that time, who kept it and took it to the outside, but it's all coming back.
Let's take a break. Gluck all the way back to the 25-yard line, where it's first down, another flag, as you had a look at the score, 10-7 on the Chowder Pot scoreboard. And Wall gets another penalty in their favor.
That was a 35-yard run by Gluck, as you mentioned, Bob. A 15-yard holding penalty brought it all the way back. And now another penalty against the Huskies.
That was one of the best fakes I've seen all year long. That was a mouthpiece
Equipment
foul.
Penalty, 5 yards.
You don't put it in, they tack 5 yards against you.
First and 30.
And another fake. Rich Gluck, left-hand side, finally rode down by John Spinapont.
That's a good gain on first and 30.
They've been faking it to Sasso and then running it.
Second down.
Now it brings that brings it up to the 35 of the Huskies with 3 minutes left in the half, and gives them a 2nd and 15. They need to get to midfield for a first down.
Clock running, 2:50 and counting down. This is Terry Underwood. Coming over to make the stop is number 44, Tim Curran.
Mullaney did a good job blocking Spinapon on the outside corner that time.
Yeah, but you know what Spinapon did? He fought off the block real well and turned the play inside. And when you turn the play inside, you get some help.
He got some help, but it wasn't coming for a couple more yards. Let's see if we can take a look at that block by Mullaney. That was him. 82 was leading the way for Underwood.
And this is Gluck. He hands it back to Terry Underwood. And they might have a first down at the 50-yard line.
Great thinking by Gluck. He made the most out of a play when he was wrapped up in the arms of a tackler to hand the ball off to Underwood, his tailback, who was trailing him, and Underwood makes the first down.
That was great thinking, but that kind of a play could either break it big, you get good results out of it, or it could be disaster.
That time it worked
Ball
big.
on the nice 49-yard line. First down, Huskies.
First and 10.
Down to 1:57 in the half.
This is Terry Underwood, right side. You got to wrap your arms around him. They're just hitting with the shoulder was Carney DeSarno. And he forgot to wrap the arms. He gets up real slow, number 21. You can see him, he's bent over.
Second down.
Gain of 5 for Underwood. Now with 147 yards, we're still in the first half with 1:26 left. Here's a look at that last play.
Ball on the late
That's a great
45-yard line.
tackle by John Spinapon. It's the two leading rushers in this game fighting it out, one on offense, one on defense. 2nd and 6. They go to the tailback. Underwood out of the backfield. He's got the first down.
I'll do it on the reception.
Huskies moving the ball on the ground and in the air. They didn't show much of a passing attack in the first couple of games this year against Toms River South, Freehold Township, and Neptune. They didn't have to because they won those games so easily. But then in the 4th game of the year against Middletown North, they came out and showed that passing attack and won a close game, 14-6. Gluck is a good passing quarterback. He had the presence of mind to come off to one of his secondary receivers that time, and it was Underwood.
This is Underwood on the carry. 54 seconds left to go in the first half, a 10-7 game. The Huskies looking to increase their lead. Underwood stays down on the ground, and that'll stop the clock. They need 2nd and 5 for a first down.
152 yards rushing for Terry Underwood in the first half. He had 119 in the first quarter with a big 52-yard gain also in there on the Chatterpot scoreboard. 47 seconds left. You think they should put the ball up, maybe go deep here?
Well, what they've been doing, they've been sending people deep, and you're getting the halfbacks and the cornerbacks to drop back deep, and then they're going underneath with the tight end, Mullaney, and they've been successful with that. And when he catches it, he's big. He's 6'3", 195-pound senior. He can run. So they might go with that again. As you take a look at one interested person on the sideline, as Terry Underwood is up and off the field under his own power. That was a cheerleader from the Huskies.
He'll stay out for one play, as he has to when the timeout is called. And the clock running with 44 seconds left in the half. Matawan.
5 yards to go.
I think this time you put it up in the air, but you got Greg Rice in the backfield. He's the tailback. We talked about him being a good runner also. You don't lose too much when he comes in. They fake it to him. They put it up. Under some pressure, Gluck gets it off, and it's incomplete. Good protection and coverage by Chris DeAndrea.
He was looking to go to Greg Rice, and Gluck feeling the pressure that time. Let's see who was in him in the backfield. Had pretty good protection for a little while, and then it broke down. And
that stops the clock.
Well, they spend a timeout to stop the clock with 21 seconds left in the half. Matawan with the lead, 10-7, and the ball at the Wall Crimson Knight 31-yard line.
Good football game so far. They had the jitters when they came out early, some turnovers, and then they got underway. Wall scored first, made it 7-0, and then Matawan charged back, and they scored, and then the field goal by Juan Pack.
And that's been it here in the first half. On the Chatterpot scoreboard, they're sponsoring the second quarter. And the score, Matawan 10, Wall 7. This a semifinal game in Central Jersey Group 3 playoffs. Wall winning their first round game 21-12 over Ewing. Matawan, the top seeded team, had a bye on November 24th. So this is the first game they've played since Thanksgiving when they beat Raritan 40-14. Wall played on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, defeating Howell 21-13 in a game they trailed 13-0. Let's see what Matawan does with 21 seconds left in the half.
I think that's Rice back in there. Nope, that's Underwood in the backfield, that tailback. And there it is, Mullaney. And he's brought down by Tim Ward, the outside linebacker. But they're threatening and knocking on the door once again.
Third reception for Mullaney. Matawan calls a timeout as they move it down around the 10-yard line. Take a look at it. Gluck hits Mullaney right over the middle. You called that one a couple of plays ago, Bob, so you had their number that time.
It wasn't hard to figure out, though. They've had success with them before, and you keep going where you've had success till they stop it, and they haven't been able to stop it.
Kind of a medium range pass. It's not too short, but yet you're not going all the way downfield. It's just right underneath those defensive backs. And as you said, that's worked 3 times for good yardage for the Huskies.
And you see they had a nice mismatch there. Like we mentioned, Mullaney's big, 6'3", 195 pounds. And the guy who was covering him is Tim Ward, 5'6", 140. And there's John Animobile talking to his defense.
I said the ball was around the 10. It's actually inside the 10 down at the 7-yard line. So the Huskies will have a first and goal.
Last time they were down inside there, they ran into some problems with penalties, and they lost some yardage. Couldn't get the touchdown. But Pack came in and kicked the field goal, so he's within range. With 13 seconds left to go. They might put it up in the air again or maybe pitch it out to Underwood for one more play and then bring Pack in.
Well, if they run wide, there's always the option of going out of bounds if nothing's there.
Well, the wide side of the field is to the left. You've got Fidel Underwood over there on that side. He's the big guy. Here we go, left-hand side. Shimko with a chance, and they knock him out of bounds, short of the touchdown.
Out of bounds.
Underwood using up 7 seconds that time, leaving 6 seconds in the half. decision time for Martucci. Does he take the field goal now with 6 seconds?
I think he goes for the 3 points.
I think that's just what he's doing.
Get that 6-point lead. Because you have a good field goal kicker in John Spinapont also on the opposite side, so it could be easily tied up. So this way you get that 6-point lead. You got to score a touchdown to tie it.
To attempt the field goal.
22-yard field goal attempt for Yun Pak.
Crowd likes it.
And it's good.
And it's good. So with 2 seconds left on the clock in the first half, the Huskies take a 13-7 lead.
Heads-up decision by Joe Martucci, I think. They could have had time for a pass into the end zone, but it could have been picked off, and they would have been turned away without any points. This way they come away with 3 and will take a 6-point lead into the locker room, barring a run back of this kickoff.
And I don't think you give him a chance to give it to a deep man. I think you just squib kick it this time. And that should run out the clock. Let's take a look at the head coach in his first year, Joe Martucci, with a record of 9-0. If he wins this one, 10-0, and they go into the state championship game. Here's the men back deep for Wall. They like to get their hands on it and run it back. Shimko is number 41. This is Pak. Here's the squib kick. Shimko goes down. He'll handle it now. And that's about it for him. And that runs out the clock. And the Huskies lead it 13-7 on the Chowder Pot scoreboard. And you can see the fans in the stands. It's got a packed house, and they love it. That's the Husky side.
This quarter has been brought to you by the Chowder Pot, offering all the shrimp you can eat on their unlimited salad, chowder, and dessert bar. At halftime, our score, Matawan 13, Wall 7. We'll be back with the third quarter right after this.
See Group 3 semifinal football on TV 34. Matawan leads it at halftime 13-7. Bob Hartman here along with Mark Rossman.
This quarter is being sponsored by WHTG FM 106.3, Jersey Shore Rock and Roll. And a couple of scores in that first half. We'll review it for you. Wall took the 7-0 lead in the first quarter. Ricky Shimko going over from 7, and John Spinapont added the kick, so Wall led 7-0. Matawan responded on their next possession with a 75-yard drive. Terry Underwood going 29 yards. Yun Pak kicked the point after, and we were tied at 7. And then in the second quarter, Matawan got 2 field goals from Pak, a 27-yarder and a 22-yarder with 2 seconds left in the half, and they lead at the half 13-7. Wall trailed in their last game 13-0 on the 24th of November to Howell. They came back to win that game 21-13. We'll see whether or not they can turn it around in the second half today.
Well, they'll be kicking off to Wall. There's the deep men. You have number 21 back there, Carney DeSarno, and number 41, Rick Shimko. And there's the kicker for the Huskies. Pak puts a foot to it. And this is Shimko at about his own 3-yard line. And a good return by Shimko across the 20-yard line to about the 24. So that's where Rich Eknoyan and company will go on first down.
On their own 24.
And they go to that quick offense.
Yeah, they opened up the game with a pass. This time it's Rick Shimko, right-hand side with the pitch. And good pursuit by the Husky defense. Nothing much on that right-hand side.
No gain.
So that'll bring up second down and long. For the Knights, they're not used to being behind as they trail at 13-7.
I had Shimko for 22 yards in the first half. Spinapont with 12. Underwood leading the way for Matawan with 154 yards in the first half. 2nd and 10 for the Knights.
And a flag.
Flag on the play.
In the backfield that time for the Huskies is number 44, Stephen Russell. He's the inside linebacker, but we'll see what happens with the flag.
WHTG FM 106.3, the Jersey Shore Rock and Roll radio station. They've got your rock 24 hours a day.
Wall is offsides, and that'll take him back 5 more yards. Wall plays 9 players, both offensively and defensively. And I think that could be a telling factor
Second and
later in this
15.
game, as the Huskies are a much bigger team, even though a lot of their players go both ways.
The Huskies do have some two-way players, but they are interchangeable and closer to a two-platoon system than the Crimson Knights. And of course, that size differential that we talked about, just the Wall offensive line, their men go 181. They're outweighed by an average of 33 pounds, as the Huskies defensive line averages 214.
Second down and 15, Eknoyan looking for somebody downfield. That was thrown short to Shimko, the intended receiver.
Incomplete.
Back on the coverage is Terry Underwood, number 32, and also number 24, Kevin Knight. Here's number 38 of the defense.
Eknoyan, normally a pretty accurate passer, 34 of 72 coming into the game, a 47% completion rate, and he hurts you because they normally complete big passes for about 20, 23 yards a completion, but today they haven't had a lot of success with the passing, and Eknoyan has been picked off once, that by Dean Burlew.
Yeah, so far this season, coming into this game, he had only 3 interceptions. Now the one today, he's 32 for 67 passing coming into the game. One thing we haven't seen from him, he's a good runner. And he's averaging 5 yards a carry with 361 yards rushing this year.
Well, he's a
and
good.
he hasn't run today.
Well, he's a good runner when Spinapont and Shimko are doing the job and pounding it away, and the defense is geared to look for those two. And then so Eknoyan normally catches them off guard with an end sweep. But today, Spinapont and Shimko haven't been able to do a lot against Matawan, so there's no surprise in Eknoyan running. They've been able to, disregard his running ability.
Here's Eknoyan under some pressure, gets it off, it's intercepted. And this one might be returned. This is Sasso, touchdown.
Sasso on the interception, touchdown, Huskies.
And you can see on the sideline, Joe Martucci very excited along with the fans and the rest of his players. The big turnover and the return by the inside linebacker, Jeff Sasso.
The extra point. Knight will be the holder.
Pack is in to attempt the extra point, and it's good.
That is good.
Congratulations on the sideline, and while we were on the sideline, they kicked the extra point. And it's 29, well, get it up on the scoreboard, it's 20-7.
Big play by Jeff Sasso, dropping back into coverage from linebacking position, and Eknoyan laid it right in his arms that time. And Sasso took it right back. About a 30-yard return with the interception. We'll take a look at it and see if we can pin down right where Sasso came up with it. Eknoyan, not very big. I'm not sure whether he could see over that line, and he threw it right into Sasso's arms.
He was also under a lot of pressure.
He was under a lot of pressure, throwing over some big men, and Sasso was right there in the middle of the field to pick it off.
Pack will kick it off once again, and he'll kick it to the deep men there. This is Shimko at about his own 10-yard line to the 20. And that's where he's ripped down by Harold Neal.
Harold Neal, number 23 on the tackle.
And the crowd loves it. They're sensing a win.
First and 10,
And maybe a
Knight.
trip to the championship game
Harold,
in
21.
Central Jersey Group 3 if they can hold on to this 13-point lead.
Well, I wouldn't count any chickens yet. 10:22 left to play in the third quarter. Wall only 2 touchdowns behind. It's not a lot for a team that has racked up 280 points this season, averaging 28 points a game.
Now this defense of the Huskies is only allowing 7.6 a game. And Shimko, that's Spinapont. He's tackled. The ball goes out of bounds. He might pick up some yards on the fumble. And he does.
Gain of 6 on the play.
They have
Second and
completely
4.
shut down the rushing game of the Knights. They're going to have to put the ball in the air. But then you got to give Eknoyan some protection, and that's tough. Time for a screen or a draw, maybe. Shimko fights his way close to the first down.
Shimko on the carry. First down.
And they pick up the first down. So with the help of the fumble advancement and the good run by Rick Shimko, the fullback, they pick up a first down.
Wall on 33-game win streak. In the 1980s, they are 46-4-1, winning percentage of over 900. And that is on the line today at Matawan.
And on first down, they pick up 3 yards.
Gain of 3 on the play. Second down.
John Spinapont in the backfield, the tailback, a big one, 6 foot, 205 pounds. They give it to him on the right-hand side, and he just pounds for yardage. Close to the 40-yard line. That'll bring up third down and short. Look like they're maybe 2 yards short of the first down. Ball resting on the 39. Here's that 5-2 defense of the Huskies.
Ball on the 39-yard line.
Straight ahead.
Spin upon on the
And
carry.
see if they pick up the first down. John Spinapont. Very close to it. Timeout. They're gonna measure, I think.
Steve Russell on the tackle, the linebacker for the Huskies. They go with the 5-2 defense. They've got Drago at nose guard, Maganet and Chalia at the tackles, Fidel Underwood and Sean Mullaney at the ends. The linebackers are Sasso and Russell. Cornerbacks Dean Berlew, who has an interception today, and Carl Watson. Terry Underwood and Kevin Knight are the safeties. That's a good defense. They don't give up many points or many yards. In fact, they only allow 145 yards per game, and that's the 4th best in the Shore Conference.
4th down in inches. Eknoyan tries it again. The last time he tried it, he was held short. So the gamble by the Crimson Knights. They trail it by 13 in the 3rd quarter, and they pick up the first down this time.
First down.
Look at the sidelines of the Huskies. See the defensive coordinator. Left-hand side of your screen, signaling in the signals. First down from the 41-yard line. Wall goes to their running game to Rick Shimko. Good yardage on first down to about the 45-yard line.
Once again, Russell on the tackle. This quarter being brought to you by WHTG FM 106.3, the Jersey Shore rock and roll radio station. They've got your rock 24 hours a day.
And we have a Knight down on the field, and it could be one of the linemen. And we'll take a break and be right back.
WHTG FM scoreboard, Matawan leads it 20-7 in the 3rd quarter.
This is Spinapont on second down. He'll be close to the first down. The injured Knight was Phil Heisman, the 5'7", 140-pound junior guard. He was up and off the field under his own power.
Face mask against the Huskies.
And a face mask penalty against the Huskies, and that will give the Knights a first down inside Husky territory.
They march it down to the Matawan 33-yard line with 7:33 left in the 3rd quarter. And Matawan with a 13-point lead, 20-7. Wall is on the march, looking to get back into it.
First down and 10 from the 32. Shimko, who's played a big part in the drives that Wall's had today, carries the ball once again. I think they're keying on John Spinapont, and Rick Shimko is doing double duty today.
Well, Shimko with 35 yards rushing and a touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown scamper in the 1st quarter, which put Wall on top. But Matawan's answered back with 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals.
Eknoyan's got Spinapont, but Dean Berlew has Spinapont also in his grasp. They want the football, but Spinapont was down before the fumble.
Gain of only about 2 yards on that completion, as Spinapont lined up and took a couple of steps over the line of scrimmage. It didn't work for very big yards as Berlew was right on the play. 3rd down and 4 for the Knights.
Berlew had an interception against Raritan. This is Shimko. He had a hole, but it closed down at the last moment. I thought he might break it to the open, into the open, and have a big gain. But another flag.
Flag on the play.
Stephen Russell over there, the inside linebacker, making the hit.
Face mask.
And it's a face mask once again against the Huskies.
Huskies running into a little trouble on this Wall possession. Wall took over at their own 22-yard line.
I wonder why Shimko went down so quickly when he had an opening. Somebody grabbed a face mask.
Had a good hold from Chris DeAndrea and Mike Ola on the right side of the line, running that quick toss play
Face
right.
mask against the Huskies. First
But the
down
face
for
mask
Wall.
penalty moves it down to the 10-yard line and puts
12
Wall in
yard
some
line.
good position
Yeah,
with 6:20 left in the third quarter.
First down and 10 from the 12. They go with Carney DeSarno. I was wondering when that guy is going to carry the ball a bit. He carried the ball quite a bit against Ewing when John Spinapon had sore ribs, and he did a nice job.
Well,
and today he gets his first carry.
Well, you don't expect
Yeah, 3 on the
DeSarno to
play.
get a lot of carries when Wall is
Second down.
behind in the ball game because they've got to go with their bread and butter men, and that's Spinapon and Shimko. But that time they throw DeSarno into the line, and he gains about 3 yards. Is the WHTG scoreboard. Matawan 20, Wall 7 in the third quarter with 6:03 left to play.
And they're looking at a Matawan player as you take a look at the sidelines with John Amabile talking to Frank Nicola, his split end, who will carry the play in. But we have timeout with 6:03 left to go in the third quarter with a Husky down on the field.
WHTG FM 106.3, the Jersey Shore rock and roll radio station. They've got your rock 24 hours a day.
The way they rolled over the player, they're looking at a leg. Could be an ankle, possibly a broken leg. It's hard to tell. Yeah, real nice day. Fine day for football. Nice facility here, nice press box.
The winner of this game will have one more week of football left, December 8th, against the winner of a game being played between Franklin Township and Colonia. Wall had to win one game to get into this semifinal. They beat Ewing 21-12 a couple of weeks ago. Matawan, the top-ranked team, had a bye in Central Jersey Group 3. The injured player was Steve Russell, number 44, 5'9", 170-pound linebacker. He's been doing a great job for the Huskies today, and he limps off the field.
Yeah, it looks like an ankle. And I'd like to thank Athletic Director Bruce McCutcheon here. He's helped us a lot. Came over here the other day and got me a roster and helped me out with the players along with the head coach. Second down and 8. A reverse. Shimko turns the corner. Touchdown. He got around Dean Berlew, who I thought was going to stop him, but that's touchdown number 2 for Rick Shimko. A great run for him.
9 yards around the left end for Rick Shimko. And on a day when the Knights need the offense from him, he's providing it with his second touchdown of the day. That makes the score 20-13, and Spinapon in for the extra point.
High snap, but they get it down.
It's good.
And Frank Nicola does a nice job to get the ball down, and it's good. And we have a 14-20 game, a 6-point lead for the Huskies in the third quarter on the WHTG FM 106.3 scoreboard. So this is going to go maybe to the very end.
I think it'll go to the fourth quarter and still be a close ball game, as the Knights that time drove it 78 yards. Play coming right at you, and Shimko dives into the end zone to complete that 9-yard scoring run. That gives him touchdown runs of 9 yards and 7 yards in this game, and it brings Wall to within 6, 20-14.
And the winner of this one will play either Colonia or Franklin for the Central Jersey Group 3 crown. As you take a look at number 44, I think the man who came out of the game before for the Huskies with a bad ankle.
Steve Russell.
Steve Russell.
And Matawan will get their hands on the ball for the first time this half.
And we have 5:46
Right
left to
the
go
field,
in the
deep
third
receiver,
quarter.
Spinapon to kick off.
John Spinapont will kick it off. And this is Neal. Wilbur Neal on the return. Cuts it up. Good return.
First and 10.
On the
Huskies
tackle,
on their own
Tom
26.
Curran along with Bob Jenkins. They return it to the 26-yard line. That's where they'll go on offense. We'll see if they'll go right or left side. In the first quarter, they continually ran to the left side behind Underwood, and then they went to the right side in the second quarter. This time it's Terry Underwood, right side,
Underwood on the carry.
to the 30-yard line. Second down and 6 from there.
Terry Underwood with 158 yards in the game. Had his cousin Fidel blocking ahead of him. Fidel number 72, Terry 32.
There he is again, this time the left-hand side. Underneath that pack is the inside linebacker, Chris DeAndrea, as he makes the tackle on Terry Underwood.
And that's the short conference leading rusher. He racked up 1,444 yards this season, an average of 8.8 yards a carry, 160 yards a game. He's at that right now with 161.
18 TDs coming into this game. Third down and 2 from the 33-yard line. Terry Underwood breaks a couple tackles and finally gets the first down. It takes more than one man to bring him down.
Underwood on the second effort. First down, Huskies.
Spinapont finally wrestles him down. And once again, Terry Underwood stays on the ground. But the last time we've seen this happen, could be a cramp. He gets up, they work it out, and he's back in the backfield.
They're massaging the back of his leg, and I think you're right, that Bob, it could be a cramp. Matawan has it out at their own 38-yard line now.
Ball on the 38.
And we'll be back right after this.
Welcome back to the third quarter as you take a look at the sideline of the Huskies. The Huskies lead it here, 20
First down, Huskies.
to 14. First down for the Huskies. Terry Underwood was injured on the play. He went to the sidelines. And this is the quarterback carrying the ball. Rich Gluck picks up 4 yards to the 41.
Good fake up the middle to his fullback Sasso that time. But Gluck kept it and picked up good yardage. This is the first possession that Matawan has had the ball in the second half, although they scored when Sasso picked off an ignoring pass and returned it 30 yards for a touchdown.
This is Sasso, and they wrestle him down.
Sasso on the carry.
That was number 66, Bob Shepard, 6'2", 210-pound senior tackle, meeting him first.
Third and 5.
Underwood has not come back in the ball game yet. Filling in for him is number 42, Greg Rice. Underwood still on the sidelines, but he looks like he's getting ready to go back in.
He had a leg cramp. Talking about Bob Shepard, he had a big fumble recovery against Howell. And this is Rice. They're a different team without Underwood. Brings up fourth down.
Rice on the carry. Gain of a yard. Fourth down, Huskies.
Here's a look at that handoff from Gluck to Rice, and he's stuffed after a short gain. That time, the Knights defensive lineman doing a good job to shut it down. It's a lot easier when you're not chasing someone like Underwood all over the backfield. Eric Hampton, number 75, into punt for the Huskies.
From his own 31-yard line, and he'll kick it to the duo back there, Shimko and Carney DeSarno. This is Shimko. It's very sloppy out there and wet. A lot of rain this week. You can see Shimko stumble before he turned it upfield.
Return the ball to the 28-yard line.
Gets it to the 28-yard line, though, on the return.
Wall ball.
That was only the second punt of the afternoon for the Huskies.
A quick third quarter as you take a look at head coach Joe Martucci in his first year here at the helm of Matawan. 11 years as an assistant, though. A minute and 58 left to go in the third quarter. And that's Shimko. And he's tackled by number, I think it's 62, James Drago. A loss on the play of a yard. And we have timeout with the minute 52. And once again on the ground is Steve Russell. He came out before with a leg injury, an ankle, I think it was. He's back in there, and now he's down again once again.
Ball in row 36.
They get a hole for Rich Shimko. See if he can turn on the afterburners. One man to beat, he steps out of bounds. At about the 37-yard line of the Huskies. If Wall can get in and score and then make the extra point, they will lead by one. If they can hold on to a lead, they will have 34 straight wins. And that ties Al Saner's Point Pleasant Borough team of 1966 to 70. Here's the run by Shimko. He's really showing us a lot today.
First down, Wall. Ball on the Huskies.
37-yard run for Shimko moves him up to 81 yards in the game.
Eknoyan looking for somebody under some pressure, fumbles the ball. Wall gets it back. It looked like Christy Andrea or number 70, Mark Osgoby, picking up the fumble. I'm not sure.
Wall fumbled on their first possession of the game after a pass completion from Eknoyan to Nicola. Let's take a look at it. Eknoyan goes back to pass, gets the ball stripped away, and you're right, Bob, one of the linemen did come up with it.
I think that might have been Mark Osgoby, but they really hustled after the ball, but they lose 5 yards on the play.
Back to the 46.
2nd and 15. Here's the pressure. Eknoyan pitches it out. That's a mistake. James Drago with the ball. The nose guard. DeAndrea makes the tackle. And that's not like Rich Eknoyan.
You're exactly right, Bob. I've never seen Eknoyan get flustered in a game, but that time when he was under pressure, he just tried to get the pass away, hoping it might fall incomplete. But instead, it came right into the arms of James Drago, 6'1", 185-pound nose guard. The ball might have been batted out of his hands, but I thought I saw him try
pitch it out. This is Terry Underwood. And the defense of Wall will be called on once again to stop the Huskies. That could be disaster for the Wall Crimson Knights.
3-yard gain by We'll take a break and be right back with the score 20. That third quarter was sponsored by WHTG FM 106.3, the Jersey Shore rock and roll radio station with your rock 24 hours a day. As we get set to begin playing this fourth quarter, Matawan has it 2nd and 6 from the Wall 26. The Knights really have to come up and stop the Huskies here, Bob. They trail it by 6.
Their defense has their backs to the wall right now after the big turnover. Rich Eknoyan throwing the ball out, and the nose guard picking it off for Matawan. And this is the situation right now. The offense with a chance to score and increase their lead. That was close to being picked off by Chris DeAndrea, but it's a completion. DeAndrea had an interception versus Ewing and a fumble recovery.
On a reception.
And once again, they go to Mullaney. Sean Mullaney's been their big man, the tight end.
4 catches on the afternoon for Mullaney. Short of a first down, it'll set up a 3rd and 3. Gluck drops straight back. Mullaney crossing right in front of DeAndrea with the reception.
3rd down and 3. Terry Underwood, and he's going to lose yardage on the play. Coming up quickly to make the stop. Let's see, let's check it, make sure.
It was Frank Nicola who came up to tackle Underwood in the backfield. Normally you'd expect Terry Underwood to pick up 3 yards on the 3rd down play, but Nicola coming up from cornerback to bust up the play in the backfield.
So that brings up 4th down. That might be out of the range of the kicker, Pack. He has 2 field goals already today for the Huskies. And they're going to go on 4th down.
4th and 6.
See who they go to. They're going to put it in the air. Look for Mullaney. They're going to go to him. And that was knocked away at the last moment. Again, let's see.
Frank Nicola coming across to break it up. 2 good plays in a row by Nicola. And Wall will get the ball back at their own 26-yard line with 10:35 left to play in the game, and Matawan leading it 20-14. Nicola comes diving across to knock it away. We want to remind Wall fans to visit the Chowder Pot on Highway 35 and Sylvania Avenue, Neptune City, for all the shrimp you can eat.
So the Wall Crimson Knights, as flags go in the air, get the ball on first down, but they dodge a bullet after the mistake by Richard Nguyen.
Well, not going for a field goal there was a big decision by Martucci, because the Knights can take over the lead with a touchdown and an extra point, where a field goal would have put the Matawan Huskies up by 9. Now they only lead it by 6. Illegal procedure against the Knights will move it back 5 yards. As we remind you that WHTG FM 106.3 is the Jersey Shore rock and roll radio station. They've got your rock 24 hours a day.
Ball on the 22-yard line.
First down and 15 from the 22-yard line of the Knights. Once again, the last loss for the Knights was in the playoffs back in 1981 to Somerville. This is Rick Shimko. He gets back some of the yardage they lost on the penalty. It'll be second down and 11.
Rusty Neal came up to make the tackle on Shimko, who has 83 yards in the game. Second and 10 for the Knights.
So he did get back all the yardage they lost on that penalty. This is Carney DeSarno. Gets a couple good blocks, picks up 5 yards on the carry.
Mulaney on the tackle.
Some misdirection plays might work here for the Knights. That time, DeSarno picking up 6 yards.
86 on the play.
As they first faked it into the line, and DeSarno came around to take the handoff from McNoyan. Good pursuing team, the Matawan Huskies. Went for the ball, the first fake, and DeSarno was able to pick up some yards. We'll see whether or not they stick with the misdirection plays.
Sean Mulaney made the defensive play that time. McNoyan under some pressure, and he's sacked. Looked like James Drago in there. And the crowd loves it. Brings up fourth down, and they'll have to punt it away. Let's see who got in there.
Lost the 4 on the play.
Looked like a tree fell on him.
It was 55 George Maganette, 6 feet, 210 pounds. As Spinnapont stands back waiting for the snap.
And the Huskies are going to get good field position. But a great punt by Spinnapont. Down quickly on the coverage is Rick Shimko. And they'll just let it bounce. Wilbur Neal didn't want to go near it at the 30-yard line. So Spinnapont gets him out of trouble.
We'd like to remind the Wall fans to visit the Chowder Pot on Highway 35 and Sylvania Avenue in Neptune City for all the shrimp you can eat. Matawan with a good drive here, Bob, could eat up a lot of time on that clock. 8:44 left in the game as they look to stop that 33-game Wall winning streak.
And this is Terry Underwood. We talked about earlier the size differences. We'll see if that size difference wears down the defense of the Knights, and we'll find out in the later moments of this quarter. But these kids from Wall, they're tough. John Amabile on size difference, a quote. He says, look at the matchups. It's ridiculous, but that's the exciting part of it. People don't realize how kids can rise well above their heads. And his kids have done that in the last 4 years. On second down, they're going to be shy of the first down. Once again on the carry, Terry Underwood.
82 on the play.
171 yards rushing for Underwood.
Third down and 1. They're at the 39-yard line. They have to get just across the 40.
They've eaten up a minute on this drive as we're down to 7:39 in the game.
This is Terry Underwood. He gets the first down. That kind of a situation, sometimes the back will break it big as everybody's up. But they pick up 2 yards and a first down to the 42-yard line. There he is as he goes back to the huddle. 5'9", 180.
Ball on the Huskies 42.
There's got to be a lot of colleges looking at him.
He's been the difference in this ball game. Started it off with a 52-yard run in the first quarter. although the Huskies did not score on that drive, and you just knew that Terry Underwood was going to have a big day, and he has.
Mulaney's been a big difference also. He's been able to get free, and there's a fumble. The ball is loose. The play hasn't stopped yet. Carney DeSarno finally makes the tackle. Gluck picked up the ball, heads-up play by Rich Gluck. The ball came out of there, no whistle, and they gained yardage on a play that could have really hurt him.
That's two big plays in this game where Gluck has made heads-up plays. The first was when he was stopped for a first down, and he handed the ball off to Underwood, who picked up the first down. And now again, when Underwood fumbles the ball, Gluck makes another heads-up play to pick it up and gain additional yards down to the Wall 42-yard line.
Little things win ball games, and when you put teams like this together. Up the middle is Jeff Sasso,
straight
the
ahead.
fullback.
Gain of 3 on the play.
It was the kind of a game where neither team could afford to make mistakes, and if anyone has made the mistakes in this game, it has been Wall.
Second down.
A couple of interceptions have hurt. One by Berlew in the first half stopped the drive, and this third quarter, Sasso picked off an Ignoyan pass and ran it back for a touchdown.
And it's 2nd down and 8 from the 35. And I think Rich Gluck has been doing a great job, because if you watch closely, the snaps sometimes are very hard. He's having trouble, but he's holding on to the ball. Shimko misses the tackle on Underwood. They finally drag him down.
Underwood on the carry.
Over there, Tim Ward and Carney DeSarno.
This drive is now taking up 3 minutes and 5 seconds as we're down to 5:39.
You know what this reminds me of? The Manalapan game, when Matawan got the ball back and never turned it back over to Manalapan in the 4th quarter.
Well, they're a team that can control the ball. Of course, both these teams with good running games, and the standard by which you measure a good offensive team is the way they drive the ball down the field. Matawan's certainly capable of doing that.
There's Tony Graham from the Asbury Park Press on the sideline, covering the game today.
2816. Older that ticket.
He's an interested fan of all the sports at the shore area.
WHTG FM 106.3, the Jersey Shore Rock and Roll radio station. They've got your rock 24 hours a day. During this timeout, of course, both coaches on the field. John Amabile talking to his defensive squad, telling them they must get the ball back here, or at any rate not give up any points. Remember, Matawan has a good field goal kicker, Yun Pak, who already has field goals of 27 and 22 yards. If they get down close enough, he could possibly kick one, and a field goal here would put the Huskies up by 9. Let's see what happens on 3rd and 2.
Game. Underwood has problems, picks up the ball. We'll see what happens. Boy, have they been lucky. That's what it takes to win a championship, though. You got to have some skill and some luck also. 2 fumbles and they gain yardage, maybe a first down here.
Underwood dropped that ball, and it didn't bounce away from him. It bounced right in front of him. He was able to get it back.
And they're going to call timeout and measure.
Bringing the change.
See if the ball bounced the way of the Huskies. And it did. So 5:32 left to go, and the Huskies have another first down. So look at the sidelines of the Huskies and their head coach, Joe Martucci.
Now, this is the first time during the Wall 33-game winning streak that any team has scored more than 13 points against the Knights.
They're going to need a big defensive play. They've had their backs to the wall now 2 times in a row after the Rich Ignoyan interception. They held, and now they're going to have to hold once again if they want to remain in this game. On first down, they pick up 5 yards.
Getting back to that last statistic I just mentioned, that no one had scored more than 13 points on Wall during their streak. In 1982, only one team scored 13 points, as many as 13. That was Central. In 83, no one scored more than 7 points. Howell scored 7. And this year, in 84, only 2 teams have scored 13, Cinnaminson and Howell.
And Matawan's averaging 32 points a game. Gluck on the quarterback keeper. Nothing much that time.
Yeah, but they are getting inside Pak's field goal range. Now moving down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. You'd be talking about a 35-yard field goal from this distance with 4:13 in the clock, continuing to roll on in this Central Jersey Group 3 semifinal. The winner to meet either Franklin or Colonia.
Well, they need 3 yards on 3rd down. And they go to Terry Underwood. See if he can break some tackles and get it. I think he's going to be shy of that 1st down.
Tom Curran came up to make the tackle.
He's one of those inside linebackers who can really play football. Christy Andrea, the other one. As you take a look at John Amabile. It's getting hot out there on the sidelines. 4th down. And when you have Terry Underwood in the backfield and you need a yard, you can either give it to him or you can go out there and kick that field goal that puts it out of range.
Well, it looks like they're going to go for it here. Ball at the 17. They'd be attempting a 34-yard field goal if that were their choice, but it's not.
Terry Underwood, he's got the 1st down. Tim Ward helping out on the tackle. You can see the fans, they love it.
That's a big 1st down with 3:33 left in the game. It's going to give the Huskies another at least 4 plays. They can now start to take their time with the ball at the wall 15.
Maybe another 2 minutes off the clock.
And a chance to add to that lead.
1st down and 10 from just outside the 15-yard line. Terry Underwood tries to turn it up, but he's bounced out of bounds. Tom Curran knocks him out of bounds. Fans don't like it, but Rich Gluck, the quarterback, likes it.
Underwood knocked out of bounds after a 4-yard gain. They don't want to go out of bounds, of course, and stop that clock.
When I mentioned the fans don't like, they didn't like the hit that Curran put on their running back. But he picked up 3 yards inside the 15 to the 13. 2nd and 7 from there. This is Sasso, the fullback, and Wall is happy they have the ball in the hands of Christy Andrea is the football. So it looked like they stripped the ball away from the fullback. Jeff Sasso, they've got it with 3:05 left to go. And they're not out of it yet. They needed the big play, and they got it.
Unbelievable turn of events. Matawan driving down the field, working on a 13-play drive, and the ball just comes into the hands of Christy Andrea, and the Knights have life with 2:59 left in the game at their own 10-yard line.
It's a good football game. This is Shimko, left-hand side. Breaks some tackles. A gain of 8 yards before Mullaney brings him down. And right now, this team who has 33 wins in a row will not die easily. 1st down and a flag.
Shimko has 91 yards on the ground in this ball game.
And they're going to, let's see who they'll talk this one over with. Somebody's counting players on the field.
Procedure call against the Huskies.
Maybe too many players on the field for the Huskies. I don't know.
I think it was a legal procedure against the Huskies that will give Wall a 1st down.
Would a legal procedure call be too many players on the field? Would that be? No? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know why he was counting. He's sitting there.
It's a 1st down for the Knights.
Oh, I just got it cleared up. They said somebody didn't get off the field on time. So that was the call. 1st down. 2:19 left to go. They might have to put one up in the air here. John Amabile wants timeout. He just can't get it in time. Now he gets it. And 8 seconds ran off the clock more.
We'll take a break.
For the ball game, the winner of this one will go into the championship game of Central Jersey Group 3. The score 20-14. The Huskies on top.
Wall looking for their 3rd Central Jersey Group 3 championship in a row, but they'll need a touchdown here to keep those hopes alive.
Eknoyan, and he's sacked. Not any time for Eknoyan to throw the ball at all in the 2nd half.
Jeff Sasso into the backfield to bring down Rich Eknoyan. He's been the man for the Huskies today. Sasso, from the linebacking position, intercepted a pass in the third quarter, ran it back 30 yards for a touchdown.
What he's got to do, he's got to get somebody outside with the pitch or the quick pass. And this time he gets Shimko. And he's dragged down by Fidel Underwood, a 6'5", 260-pound defensive end.
Remember the big play that Wall used against Cinnaminson when they trailed in that game, the hook and pitch play. It might take that kind of a trick play to confuse Matawan right here, as you see Underwood, 72, come over to make the tackle. Just remember that kind of play is in the Wall arsenal, and it could be coming sometime around here. 3rd down and 12.
Eknoyan fakes. He's got time this time, and he's got a man. Spinapont with the catch at the 45-yard line. And a first down. Unbelievable catch. Great concentration by the running back.
And great job by Eknoyan to hang in the pocket and complete it to Spinapont, who beat double coverage at the Husky 40 with 1:04 left in the game. Take a look at it. Big reception by Spinapont at the 43-yard line.
Boy, did Rich Eknoyan thread the needle, and the great concentration by John Spinapont. And things aren't over with yet.
Tell you something, Bob. When we saw him put that ball up a couple of minutes ago, and it was intercepted by Drago, you mentioned that it was unusual for Eknoyan to make that kind of mistake. And you were right, because he has shown such great composure in games he is quarterback for the Knights that it was highly unusual when he did that. That time he hung in the pocket and threw basically into double coverage, and Spinapont was able to come up with it.
Well, the fans have gotten everything they've asked for today with 1:04 left to go. The decision isn't over with yet. The game hasn't been settled. Great afternoon for football.
1 minute and 4 seconds in the game.
This is one of the best games we've ever had on. Two heavyweights going at each other.
1st and 10 from the 44.
Here they come. Eknoyan with some time, though. Now it breaks down, and he's sacked at the 42-yard line. So good coverage by the secondary. Eknoyan had the time, but he just couldn't get it off.
Wall calls timeout with 52 seconds left in the game, as both coaches come running on the field to talk to their teams. Loss of 10 yards, back to the Wall 45.
2nd down and 20 yards.
They need to get to the Matawan 34 for a first down. They need a touchdown and an extra point for a win.
Wall has no more timeouts left. They have to get to the 35-yard line, just inside the 35-yard line of the Huskies for a first down.
I'm telling you, watch the trick play coming up somewhere soon.
Well, I think what they have to do, and they did it the last time when they went to running, they have to get that ball quickly to the outside to get a one-on-one situation with your runners and the cornerbacks and the linebackers. And the only way they can do it is with a real quick pass or a pitch out if you're going to run the ball. And then you're close to the sideline. You can get out of bounds then. You don't cut it up inside. We've seen at Ewing, the fullback there, I mean the halfback there, the tailback. Bivens, he almost went in, but he cut it up inside. And that spelled disaster for them.
It's a 2nd and 10 from the Wall 45-yard line. 52 seconds left in the game. Bob?
Here we go. Eknoyan, good protection, gets it off over the middle. He tried to go to Carney DeSarno, incomplete.
Carney DeSarno, incomplete.
That time, though, he had good protection.
3rd down.
Let's talk about that line. Phil Heisman, Tom Curran, Chris DeAndrea, Mike Ola, and Mark Osgoby. They're the guys who are down in the trenches today for Wall.
Not very big. They've certainly taken a pounding from a much bigger Matawan line, but they're hanging in there. 3rd and 20 for the Knights, 47 seconds left.
Somebody looked like they moved. There goes the flags. I think it was Tom Curran out a little quick, or maybe the left guard. So you got to get back to the huddle real quick. Come on, guys, hustle as you take a look at the head coach of Matawan, because that clock will move once they move it back.
Procedure against Wall. Moves it back to the Knights 40 and sets up a 3rd and 25.
3rd and 45.
The Huskies would like to see them take their time.
Procedure against Wall.
That clock will go in motion right now. I guess not. It's going to hold it at 45. Oh, you know why it didn't go in motion?
Because
it was
the
an incomplete
penalty.
pass. It was an incomplete pass, so it doesn't go in motion. Eknoyan. Shipko was held. I can't believe it, but Shipko was held.
You might be right on that one, Bob.
Jeff Sasso had a hand on Shipko, and the pass goes incomplete, no penalty.
No flags, 4th and 25 from the Knights 40. This is the situation. The Knights have 33 wins in a row. They've won 2 Central Jersey Group 3 titles in 82 and 83, and they haven't lost to a Shore Conference team since 1980. They need 25 yards on 4th down with 40 seconds left in the game.
Might be time for a screen pass because these guys are going to be coming this time. Now they put it up long. Shipko runs underneath, but it's intercepted. Terry Underwood with the interception. And he runs out of bounds with 28 seconds left to go. Wall has no more timeouts. That will end it. That should end the streak at 33 for the Wall Crimson Knights.
Terry Underwood has not only gained 192 yards on the ground today, but on the biggest play of the season, 4th and 25, he comes up with the interception to apparently seal the victory that will put an end to a 33-game Wall winning streak. 28 seconds left.
They'll take the snap and fall on it. There's a flag. Let's watch the interception one more time, Mark.
Eknoyan, with 3 wide receivers on the right side of that line, just unloads it, hoping for the tip that will come up with a miracle play. But Underwood picks it off and goes out of bounds.
Against the Huskies. It uses a mouthpiece.
5-yard penalty against the Huskies as you look at Joe Martucci tasting win number 10, 10-0, and a chance to go against Colonia or Franklin in the championship game. And flags once again. There's the crowd.
Oh,
They're going to be happy at this point.
They have seen a great one today.
Penalties against Wall.
This one will be against Wall. 5 yards, so they get it back. Now it's 1st down and 10.
Procedure call.
If this final score holds up, 20-14, the winning touchdown will be that pass interception returned by Sasso with 10:35 left in the 3rd quarter.
And now Gluck just falls on it, and that should run out the clock. Now, John Amabile, he mentioned that he really wanted to win the whole thing and go 35-0. And it's not going to happen today, but I want to say something. This is his last year, and his kids over the last 4 years, and himself and his coaching staff have really provided TV 34 with a lot of excitement, and they got to be proud of him. I'm proud of him. I think all our fans are, and they're not losers today. They're winners. They just ran out of some time. And congratulations to Matawan, who wins it 20-14.
Just a great, great high school football game today as Matawan defeats the Crimson Knights 20-14 to end that 33-game winning streak. It's 1 game short of the Shore Conference record of 34 in a row by Point Borough, 7 games short of the all-time state record by Memorial of West New York at 40 games. But as you mentioned, Bob, what a 3-year reign for the Crimson Knights. Their last loss was November 21st, 1981 to Somerville in the playoffs. Since then, they just absolutely tore through the B-South Shore Conference Division, winning 2 consecutive Central Jersey Group 3 titles. But today, it came to an end as Joe Martucci's Matawan Huskies did it.
Maybe the beginning of another reign for Matawan. They used to be really great with the state championships, and it looks like they're on the road again.
We'll just run down the scoring. Shipko started it off for Wall, a 7-yard run in the 1st quarter, made it 7-0. The Huskies rebounded, and Underwood, who finished with 192 yards rushing, scored on a 29-yard run to tie it at 7. Yun Pak kicked field goals of 27 and 22 yards to make the halftime score 13-7. Early in the 3rd quarter, with 10:35 left in the quarter, Jeff Sasso scored what turned out to be the winning touchdown when he ran back an Eknoyan interception 30 yards for a score to make it 20-7. The Knights responded on a 9-yard run by Shimko and a spin upon point after to make it 20-14. That's the score that held up all through the fourth quarter, and the Huskies go on to win it by the score of 20-14. The story today, Bob, I think was just the fact that Underwood was dominant on offense for the Huskies with 192 yards. Spinapont gained only 33 yards on the ground. Shimko gained 91, but too many interceptions, and Terry Underwood was what did the Knights in today. And there you see some of the emotion.
Yeah, a little dejected, but they have to be proud of themselves. They really fought all the way. A 20-14 loss. They could have won it.
How about these Wall seniors? What a job they've done for the last 3 years. You look at them, DeAndrea, Osgoodby, Curran, both Currans.
They got to be proud of
Mike
themselves.
Gola, they have to be proud. We want to tell you that tonight's game has been brought to you in part by the Chowder Pot, located in Keyport, Old Bridge, East Windsor, Neptune City, and now in Howell. And also, it was brought to you in part by WHTG FM 106.3, the only rock and roll station on the Jersey Shore, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Well, if John Amabile goes with his decision, his record, and he retires after this year, his record will be 116 wins, 91 losses, and 8 ties. And he and his team have given us some real thrills and some great memories. I'll never forget this one. For Mark Rossman, this is Bob Hartman. This has been a TV 34 Sports presentation.